Today is April the 21st. Okay, so I have very bad news for everybody. Our Pope, Saint Francis, Pope Francis, he died this morning. He died this morning in Vatican City, I think around 7 a.m. this morning. So for those of you that are Catholic, you're sorry to give you the bad news. You can hear it anyways. But let's make some coffee. Alright, you guys, this is my favorite cup. Alright, today's April the 21st. Yesterday was 420. A lot of people were celebrating. But, unfortunately, the Pope Francis, he died this morning, you guys. So, alright. Dios que lo tenga en su gloria. Y we're going to have a viewing for his body there in some church somewhere in Rome, I think. I was watching the news this morning, and he died I think he died a peaceful death. I'm not really sure, but so far, because I watch the news when I wake up in the morning. I always watch the news on my way over here. Gracias, mamá.
Azúcar morena, ser blanco.
Ok. Le voy a echar miel hoy, más. ¿Verdad?
Es el miel. Nomás que como llegan las hormigas, ya la puse en medio del agua.
¿Puedo hacer como el lago, ma? ¿Es como el lago? ¿El agua aquí?
No, ábrela toda porque así se botea aquí y así no.
Ok.
Ajá. Aquí está.
¿Y ahora como el lago, ma? ¿Y así?
No, mira. Ya ves como si necesito un consejillo ahí de los ancianos.
Yo por eso te pregunto, madre.
Porque así, para que no se te chorree. Y aquí tucutuco, mira.
Tucutuco, mira, échale, ¿no ves tucutuco? Ya que estás allí. Morning,
¿Te
everybody.
pongo entera?
Más una entera, Gracias, ma. Thank you, mommy.
Yo la dejo ahí para mí.
Okay.
Voy a ponerle.
Okay, mom. Yeah, so good morning, everybody. It's kind of rise and shine. For those of you that are going to work this morning, my mom puts her honey in a bucket of water over here. It says that ants will get to it if she just leaves it out. So what she does is she puts her honey inside of a little bucket, and that keeps the ants away. Okay? So once again, I'm Jose Reynoso, your Azteca Health Man. I got bad news for you. It's this morning, our Pope Francis, he died this morning. Okay, so my mom's kind of sad about it, and a lot of people around the world are mourning him. And so that's bad news. I'm sorry I had to give it to you. So for those of you that haven't seen the news yet, I watch the news every day, and when I wake up, I watch the news on my phone while I get ready to leave my house. By the time I show up to my parents' house, I already watched the news, so I can get an idea of what's going on in the world. And so that's the news that I have to share with you. But yes, the Pope Francis just died. Navy SEAL Sniper says, yo, what's happening, Navy SEAL Sniper? How you doing, homie? All right, you guys, we're going to have our coffee this morning, and we're going to be heading out to work. Okay, today's April the 20th. Yo, says Rachel Caller. Caller? How you doing, Rachel? ¿Lo hallaste?
No.
¿Te le llamo?
¿Buscas, hijo?
You want me to call it? Okay.
No, pues fue a darle la medicina allá al cuarto. Deja ver, a lo mejor lo pone al cuarto. Que lo haya traído mamá. Ándale,
Okay, bye.
Dios te bendiga.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Navy SEAL says, good, just got home from Iraq. Oh, wow. How did that go for you? Are you home for good now? Or are you just on vacation? Or how does that work? We have some of our nephews and nieces that are in the armed forces too. We have people in the army. We have people in the Marines. We have people in the Air Force, and we have people in the Navy. So, I don't know that much about it, but how does that go? So, are you home for good now? You finished your term, or how does that work? Navy SEAL sniper.
Esta ya se acabó.
Oh, sí.
Ah, bruto.
Vamos a sentarnos ahí en la mesa. Let's go sit down over here on the table, you guys. Navy SEAL says, Do I have to go back to him about 2 months back to Iraq? Okay. So you're on vacation. All right. Well, thank you so much for, being in the armed forces, keeping America safe from terrorists and all that, risking your life so that we can have a safe America. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. We all appreciate that very much. And I hope you finish your term and in lightning speed, so you can get back to your loved ones. Navy SEAL sniper. Right on. Thank you for sharing with us, by the way. Okay, I'm gonna put some of this milk. Okay, this is the milk that we use for our coffee, you guys. Evaporated milk tastes great with coffee. Boom. All right. Well, anyways, like I was saying, our Pope Francis, he died this morning in the Vatican. I guess he was already suffering from a lot of from his health. And yesterday, I guess he did a Easter blessing for everybody that was there at the Vatican, at Vatican City. And then somehow this morning he died, you guys. So, my mom's a little bit sad about that, but life goes on. All right, you guys, right on. So today is April the 20th. Yesterday was April 20th, 420, for those of you guys that are hip to that. And everybody was celebrating the 420 yesterday. There was a big party. There was big parties everywhere, especially at all the what do you call those things? Dispensary places. There's one down the street right here. And there was a lot of people there. There was a lot of people there celebrating and all that. I was at the store. And there was a lot of people celebrating yesterday, you guys. There's nothing like some good warm coffee in the morning to get you going, you guys. I drink coffee in the morning to get me going, but once I'm at work and during the day and I'm working hard, I drink Azteca Heal with my water. So that keeps me energized and it keeps me going. So that's why I'm always bringing you updates on Azteca Heal. Okay, Azteca Heal you can now buy it on the TikTok shop, you guys. The TikTok shop has your Azteca Heal now, which is convenient, and it's free shipping in all of America. So for those of you that are getting your Azteca Heal right on, you can now get it on the TikTok shop also. People are still getting it on Walmart online, Amazon online, and Flip online. But now you TikTokers can now get it on the TikTok shop. Right on. I'm gonna eat this sandwich right here. Sandwich and coffee is great. How's everybody doing this morning? Everybody's so shy. I'm still banned on TikTok until Wednesday, so things are very, very slow. Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook are very, very slow. All right, we have somebody showing up right here. It says, God, God 420. I like that. I like that. That's very good. It says, hello. Dice, what line of work do you do? Okay, I'm a masonry contractor. I do all the masonry work. I specialize in stonework, but I set block. I do concrete. I set tile. I install pavers and pizza ovens and stuff like that. I have over 30 years experience now in masonry work. So yeah, you guys. Okay, God 420. Did you celebrate yesterday? I'm pretty sure you did, right? Mm. Congratulations, good idea. Thank you very much, God 420. Yesterday all day, right? I bet you still celebrated this morning. I celebrated yesterday too because I'm a fan of 420 myself. All right. So yesterday was celebrations of everywhere, and I was telling people this morning that there's a dispensary right here, right down the street from my house, and man, they were having a big party. They had a DJ, they had a big bus there. There was a lot of people, and so yeah, everybody was celebrating 420 yesterday. Unfortunately, uh, the Pope Francis, he died this morning in the Vatican City. So for those of you that are Catholic, I'm sorry to give you the bad news, but that's what happened. I think he died peacefully in his sleep. I'm not really sure, but I was watching the news this morning, and that's what they're telling everybody that he died this morning. So that's terrible. Okay, God 420 says, two holidays in one. Laugh out loud. Easter Sunday with family stoners. All right. That's great, man. That's hella good, right? Easter Sunday and 420. Does that happen like that every time? No, huh? Because 420 is not always on Easter, right? But yesterday it was. All right, you guys check out here my beautiful mom. Hi, mommy.
Hi, hijo. Muy buenos días, amigos aztecas, yo, y pues les quería decir que pidan por el Santo Papa que hoy está en la otra vida.
Yes, my mom, she's sad because Pope
Por lo tanto,
Francis.
nosotros debemos de estar también pues, tristes porque ya se fue. Ojalá nos llegue otro, que va a seguir otro y que sea bueno con sus feligreses, que somos nosotros, todos los que lo... Hay personas que no lo querían, pero yo no lo juzgo, ni digo nada.
Mom says that we should all pray for Pope Francis so that he can have a nice little journey straight to heaven. Mami, aquí te mando a saludar God 420. Dice, good morning, hostess mother. My name is Jose Reynoso, God 420. Dice que te mando a saludar aquí, Mom.
Muchas gracias, yo también los saludo y pues le pido a Dios por él y por todos los que me dicen y me quieren y también por los que no me quieren.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys, so today I'm going to be going back to work. Nothing more?
Sí, por favor.
¿Mi papá comió todo?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you guys, so that's terrible. The Pope died. He died this morning, but he was pretty much up there already. You know what I mean? I think he had a great life, and he got to be Pope. You know what I mean? The odds of becoming Pope are like astronomical. I mean, you have a better chance of being president than you do of being a Pope, I think. And Pope Francis, he did a lot of things during his time as the Pope. You know, he did a lot of work for humanity. God for 20 says, I work power and electrician out of Connecticut, Ohio. All right, Cincinnati, Ohio. Oh, right on. That's great. So being an electrician pays good money, right? That's cool, man. It's the every time I hear Cincinnati, I always think of that show back in the day, the WKRP in Cincinnati. That was hella funny. I used to watch that show every day, every day. It was one of my favorites. So every time I hear the word Cincinnati, it always reminds me of WKRP. I don't know if you know that show, but it was from the 70s, early 80s. I was a kid in those days, and I used to watch that show after school. Actually, it was like around 7 or 8. But yeah, it was. Every time I hear that word Cincinnati, it always makes me think about WKRP. And as you can see, my mom's a little bit sad today, you guys. She didn't hear the news until I told her. I thought she might have seen it on TikTok or something already, but she just woke up, and I gave her the bad news, and she doesn't look very happy now. But oh well. Haz de luto por el papa, ma.
Sí.
Yeah, so for those of you that are Catholic and stuff, you know, my mom says we should pray for the Pope, you know, for all the great stuff that he did, and so that way he could, when he gets to heaven, God will welcome him straight in. Okay, and so yeah, that's what my mom says. Es la madre que tú dices que debemos de rezar por las almas cuando se mueren y
Sí, porque pues como el Papa ya estaba viejito, puede ser que haya dicho algunas cosas que no van con la ley buena.
Ajá.
Pero yo no lo juzgo, ya llegó allá. Por eso les digo a ustedes, no sean malcriados con sus padres, no sean humillantes con sus trabajadores por el poder, porque Dios no los va a parar a ustedes y ni me va a parar a mí que sea mala, pues, digamos. Y Dios, y hace todo lo que quiere, haz, y a mi presencia llegarás, y el karma aquí llega en la vida, vivo uno, ahí le llega.
Wow, Mom. Okay, God 420 says, well, hope you all have a better days. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, God 420. God 420 says he was celebrating yesterday with his family. 2 holidays in one. So he got the 420 holiday and he got the Easter holiday. Spending it with his family, he says. Right on, you're a very lucky person. Yeah, you guys, I'm sorry for those of you that haven't heard the news yet, our Pope Francis died this morning in the Vatican City. So for those of you that haven't heard that yet, well, now I'm sorry to give you the bad news. All right. And, you know, they say that the Pope, he's the head of the Catholic Church. And, you know, so I don't know very much about that, but he did do, Pope Francis did do a lot of stuff for us, you know, for humanity, for helping out the poor, you know, letting people know, protesting against wars and all kinds of stuff that he did, you know. So you know what, there was a lot of videos against him, you know, mocking him, insulting him and all that, and all those people are gonna pay for that. My mom says that karma is paid here. Okay, so when you do negative stuff like that, karma is gonna get you here on earth. Okay, dropped a light blank. I must get back to work. All right, well, nice to have you here, God 420. I'm glad you were here. Thank you very much. It was nice having you. Have a great time at your work, okay? All right. Navy SEAL Sniper says, yo! You're back, Navy SEAL Sniper. We're glad you're back, man. We're just talking again with my mom and the viewers here that Pope Francis just died this morning. So yeah, that's what we're talking about this morning. All right, more people are joining in. We have Sub Hank. Hank R. Panda says, so beautiful couple. Oh, this lady's my mom. And yes, thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right. Yes, says Navy SEAL. Yeah, you guys. So anyway, says the Pope Francis just died this morning, and may God have him in his grace. He was a great pope, and so he did a lot of great stuff, a lot of positive stuff, you guys. So for those of you that haven't heard yet, I'm sorry to give you the bad news, but yes, our Pope Francis, he died this morning in Vatican City. Okay. My mom didn't hear about it until this morning when I told her. I'm sorry, says Navy SEAL sniper. Well, you know, everybody gets gonna get their turn, and I don't know. I think that when people die, they go to a better place because we're the ones that are suffering here on Earth. You know, some people might have a great life. Some people might have, you know, a lot of money. You know, good health, a lot of great things, and they were having a great time, right? But compared to heaven, that's still suffering. I think so. I think that when we die, we made it. You know, if you're a good person, you're a good Christian, you follow God's commandments and all that. I think that once you die, you cleared it, you made it. Because if you're a good person, even if you had a great life here on earth, it doesn't compare to how the greatness of heaven. Okay, so for those of you that believe in God, right on. All right, good morning, Jen Cruz says she's watching over here on Facebook. Good morning to you, Jen. Jen says, good morning, sweetheart. Hi, my beautiful mom. All right, Jen, appreciate that. Aquí te mando a saludar, Jen, ma. Dice que eres su mamacita bonita.
Yo también la mando a saludar y yo sí, ya sé qué es lo que tiene el niño.
¿Sí?
Epilepsia.
¿Ah? ¿Sí?
Eh,
Oh.
okay.
Were you the one that was asking about your baby? My mom says that she thinks it's you. She says that she might think that your baby might have epilepsy. I don't know if it's you, Jen, but my mom.
Y siempre voy
That's
a
what she's saying.
ayudarlos si me quieren donar algo o se quedan con él. Ya lo que quiero es que me den algo por el mantel. Y sea lo que sea, yo se lo voy a mandar.
Okay.
Y pues el papá también está. Pero...
Okay. Right on. Navy SEAL sniper says USA, USA. I love the American flag too, Navy sniper. As you can see, look, I got my hard hat with the American flag. I also got my sunglasses with the American flag on them. Ta-da! I love everything about the America. You know, I'm a Mexican born in Mexico. I'm very proud to live here in the United States. You know, so that's why I'm always wearing my American flag stuff. I love everything about of America. America's a great nation, and so that's why I'm very proud to live here. Okay. All right. Yo. All right. Jen says, no, it wasn't me. Okay, my mom thought it was you. So she's somebody asked her for some remedies for that, and she thought it was you, Jen. So like I said, you guys, I'm sorry to have been giving you the bad news, but our Pope Francis, he died this morning in the Vatican City. And they're saying that they're going to be having his body for viewing for those of you that are Christians, and are going to be going over there. They're going to have a viewing of his body there I think in the next couple of days. So that's what it is this morning. I'm sorry to give you those bad news, but I learned about it when I was waking up. When I wake up, I always turn on my phone to the news, you know, and I watch the news as I'm getting ready to leave my home. And then I drive over here, or I walk over here to my parents' house. So I always watch the news on my way over here, and that was the news that I don't know. It made me sad. You know what I mean? The Pope died, and you know he's in a better place now. But yes, you know what I mean. So, anyways, you guys, did anybody else hear about that, or is this the first time you guys hear about this? Sometimes, you know, giving bad news like that,
Dame el polvito del aguacate para echarme tantito.
Okay, you guys check it out. See this powder my mom is about to drink in her coffee? That's the avocado remedy that she's been showing you guys. How you know how she takes the cheese grater and grates it, then she made it into a fine powder, and she's drinking it as tea. Okay, so avocado seeds are good for joints.
Booms.
Okay, joints and arthritis, you know, and for your bones. And that's as you can see. Look, she's drinking it as a tea. Okay. Okay, Navy SEAL Sniper says, yes, my friend, are going to heaven. All right.
Sí.
See that? She puts more into it because my mom, she has arthritis in her hands. So she drinks it as a tea. Okay, for those of you that have arthritis, she recommends the avocado Wessels. Wow, she's gonna show you real quick here.
Look at
Look at this. She grates it on with a cheese grater. She does this to it. She lets it dry for a little while, and then she. This was two seeds, and then what she does is she puts it in a coffee grinder, and then she makes it into a fine powder, and that's how she makes her tea. Okay, for those of you that joint pain or arthritis and stuff like that, my mom says that's great. Jen says, I heard it on the news. Yes, it was sad. Yeah, that's terrible. I usually watch the news, and news are news. But right when I heard that, I'm like, oh man, I know it's gonna make my mom sad, and it is. She's not her happy little self today. But I had to tell her the bad news, so you know what I mean. Okay. So let's move on here, you guys. So for those of you that they're wondering about that remedy for your arthritis, that's the remedy. See, my mom makes tea out of those avocado seeds, and my mom says that it's great for her arthritis, for bones and all that. And so that's the remedy for joint pains. Okay, her avocado seeds. All right, you guys. So it's almost 7 a.m. I'm gonna be leaving pretty soon. So if anybody has any other questions, please let me know. Because I'm gonna be leaving a little bit early today. Most of the time people join in. They start joining in around 7, but I'm gonna be leaving early today. Today I'm not live on TikTok, only on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, because I got banned for a week in TikTok. TikTok's kind of weird that way. You can't say anything on there sometimes. You know what I mean? You really gotta watch what you're saying. I said the word gay the other day, and that was enough to get banned for a week. See, when Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube and stuff, they're not as strict. With you guys, I can be driving, and you guys can be watching where I'm going and all that, because I do that sometimes, and it's fine. But if you're driving on TikTok, even if you're just a passenger, you get banned right away. So for those of you that do TikTok and stuff like that, don't do it. All right, you get banned right away, ASAP, even if you're not driving. All right, you guys. Okay, Navy SEAL Sniper says, yes, my friend. Yes, you, my friend, are going to heaven. Well, nobody knows that for a fact. You know what I mean? Even like right now, I'm a good person supposedly or whatever. But you know what? Sometimes people make mistakes. Sometimes people are great people, most of their life, and then they mess up towards the end. Okay, my mom says that you could be the biggest sinner as long as you repent with your heart, and God will forgive anything except if you kill yourself. That's the only thing that God does not forgive. My mom says that's the worst thing you can do, because when you kill yourself, God does not forgive you. That's the only thing that God does not forgive. My mom says you go straight to hell. Also, when you kill yourself, you commit suicide and all that, the priest does not want to say a mass for you because you killed yourself. They say that it's worse than an animal, and also on they won't bury you in the cemeteries because you killed yourself. So you're worse than an animal basically. All right. So for those of you that have tried or have thought about that, please don't do it. Consider options. There's always options. You know what I mean? There is always options. Some of you might do it because you feel sad, you feel lonely, you think nobody's there for you, but God is always with you. Okay, so when you have those bad thoughts going through you, just remember God's always right there, listening to you. All right, all you got to do is open your heart and feel Him around, and you'll feel a lot better. Okay, so anyways, you guys, I don't mean to bore you here, but I'm going to be leaving pretty soon here. About another 5 or 10 more minutes. Oh, my mom will probably say a little prayer for us in memory of the Pope Francis, and then she'll give me my blessings, and I'll be off to work. Mm. Coffee's great, guys. So anyways, you guys, when TikTok's not on, everything is really slow. If I was on TikTok right now, people on TikTok are fast. And so you guys are all pretty slow. You guys don't talk very much. You know, we got Jen over here, and we have a few people on YouTube. Instagram's always real quiet. Not that many people view me on Instagram, but I put it up anyway, just just in case. Also, some people don't watch me live, right? I'll post that live stream, and people watch me, on their own time or whatever. So yeah. Anyways, so welcome to the Azteca Healthman Show. Today's April the 21st, right? Reminding you can now get your Azteca Heal on the TikTok shop now. You can still get it on Amazon online, Walmart online, Flip online, but you can now get it on the TikTok shop, you guys. As long as we'll be close traveling companions. Call me Archie. So, Archie. No, please, you've got to help me. No, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, but I do. I researched my subject thoroughly. It's the way I always work. El Gato was the most feared bandito in all northern Mexico. He's the scourge of the Federalist forces. The curse of the Rio Grande. Correct? Yeah. All right, you guys. He's also got about 75 hired gunmen. I'll shoot them all. Here, 400. Please take me to him. You don't have to do anything. Just leave me to him. I'll do the rest. Now, look here. Number one, I like El Gato. As far as I'm concerned, he's a nice fella. Number two, even if I didn't like him, I wouldn't go after him unless I had an artillery regiment. Number three, you better forget about it in the first place. You mean you got a gun? What are you gonna get him with? Your stick pin? Point right here. Just to shoot him once. One photograph of the famed El Gato will make secure my fame. Ever since he photographed Lincoln, that Matthew Brady's been getting all the attention. One shot of El Gato will turn Brady positively green. Wow. So anyway, you guys, I'm gonna get going here pretty soon. I want to be at my job site early so that I can get stuff going. I usually get to my job sites around 7 a.m. But lately, since I do live streaming in the morning with my mom, and so I leave here, 7:30, 8 o'clock. But before I was streaming and stuff, I'd be at the job site already at 7 a.m. Sometimes 6:30. Sometimes even earlier. Like if you were gonna be pouring some concrete and stuff like that, I always get to the job site earlier than when you don't. If the truck's gonna be there at 7, you want to be there at 6 or at 6:30, just in case there was something. Sometimes because there's always something, and concrete does not wait. For those of you that know. So especially on days when we're gonna be pouring concrete and stuff, I like to show up even earlier. But lately, since I do live streaming with my mom here, I leave really late. So before there's no way I'd still be at home at 7 a.m. I'd be at the job site already. But since I do live streaming and stuff now, and that's important to me also, you know what I mean? Because I'm the stick of health man. So this is also part of my job, you guys. For those of you that are always complaining I'm not doing anything, a lot of you don't realize that streaming and all that, it is part of my job. It's my second job, okay? So I'm a contractor, but I'm also the stick of health man. And people like to watch me, believe it or not. People think I'm funny. They like the way I clown around. And they like to watch me fishing. They like watching me going out on my boat and all kinds of stuff. So I honestly enjoy being the stick of health man. You know what I mean? It's a lot of fun. I get to talk to all kinds of people, and it's a job. It's also a job, you guys. It's also a job. All right. All right. Where did my mom go? Here she comes. Here she comes. Here comes the lady of the day hour.
Mira, allí entre mi costura yo compraba esto también, ocupaba, a ver si te sirve para
Oh,
que
sí, sí, eso
ustedes
me
eso.
sirve. Mari,
Y
pero
por ahí tengo más.
y luego tú,
No, pues yo ya no ocupo eso.
¿ya no? Ok,
No.
entonces me lo voy a
Era
llevar.
cuando yo cosía,
Ajá.
haciendo.
Yo lo uso para mis teléfonos, mira. ¿Sí ves cómo lo uso,
Sí,
mira, ma?
tengo otro para mí.
¿Ves?
No, pues mira.
See,
aquí
my
está.
mom's giving me a roll of this. My mom's giving me a
Pienso que
roll
no
of.
tiene el compañero.
Sí, sí lo tiene. Son los dos. ¿Sí, no? Ahora que ver. Mira, están juntos, mira.
Oh, ok, pues ahí está. Y tengo otro allí.
My mom's giving me this roll of what do you guys call this? Velcro. She says she found it in her costura stuff. She doesn't do that anymore, so she wants me to take it. Thank you, mommy. Madre, yo ya me voy, mamá.
Ándale, pues.
No nos puedes dar aquí un recito
Sí, cómo
o
no.
para aquí
Sí.
de parte para el papa que se acaba de morir y pues para que Dios.
No, pues ahorita son para los que estamos vivos, él ya está ya juzgado de Dios, pero sí voy a pedir por él porque pues no se hablaba muy bien de él, pero yo no lo juzgo. De todos modos hay que pedir por él, pero yo ahorita en la Santa Misa voy a pedir por él, por mí y por ustedes, por los que me miran bien y también por los que no me ven bien. Porque no quiero que les llegue el karma a las personas que desean lo malo.
Ajá.
Porque el diablo tapa y después él mismo destapa los gusanos, ese es el karma. Al demonio.
Sí.
Voy a apagar la televisión.
Okay, Mom. Thank you, Mommy. Okay, you guys, my mom's gonna give us a small prayer here. She's gonna give me a blessing so I can go to work. And believe it or not, that makes me feel good when I'm working out there, or stuff. Knowing my mom, said a prayer for me, gave me my little blessing. That makes me feel safe. Makes me feel good.
Primero la de Dios. En el nombre sea de Dios Padre, de Dios Hijo y de Dios Espíritu Santo. Amén. Padre Santísimo, te pido por estas familias, estas personas que me saludan y también por los que no me saluden y por los que tienen negativo en contra de otras personas, que no les llegue el karma, porque el karma es aquí en este mundo. Y cuando uno llegue, Dios nuestro Señor no lo para, nuestro Señor lo deja a uno que haga todo lo que quiera, pero dice, haz que a mi presencia llegarás. Y primero llega uno con Él y después ya, pues, no nos pase lo que al rico que decía que le mojaran los dedos aunque fuera de Lázaro, porque Lázaro era un pobrecito y allí estaba... Nuestro Señor dice, mójame los dedos y dámelos, porque se estaba ardiendo allá. Wow. Entonces, piensen eso, yo no soy nada, soy pecadora y faltosa también, porque nadie es perfecto en esta vida. Padre Santísimo, cuídalos, protégelos en todos sus caminos y batallas espirituales, cubre sus pensamientos, potencias y sentidos con tu coraza protectora. Reviste su cuerpo con tu poder, que los dardos incendiarios no los toquen, ni en el cuerpo ni en el alma, que ni el veneno, ni el hechizo, ni el ocultismo les haga daño, que ningún espíritu encarnado o descarnado los perturbe, que Satanás salga cuando vean la coraza de tu sangre protectora en ellos, en nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo. Amén. Vayan con Dios.
Thank you, Mommy.
En nombre del Padre y del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo. Amén.
Thank you, Mom. Madre, aquí tienes a Elena. Ya no irá a la prima.
Ay,
Hola,
nena.
prima. ¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás, nena? Yo estoy bien, gracias a Dios. Y pues tus niños se apellidan con mi abuelita y son familia. ¿Mm?
Good
Y
morning,
también
Stephanie.
contigo, pues te digo que mi abuelita se apellidaba así. ¿Cómo se apellidaba el jeringo?
Yo no sé.
Acevedo. Y mi
Acevedo.
abuelita se apellidaba Acevedo y el abuelo de estos niños tuyos le decía tío a mi papá. Y como uno de joven no se fija muy bien, pero ahora yo recapacito y sé quién es mi familia y sé, porque ya estoy vieja, pues.
Se dice madura, ma. Tú no estás vieja, ma. Tú estás una dama
no, ya.
madura.
Ya se me acabó ¿cómo se dice? La fuerza.
No, madre, usted está fuerte de mente todavía. Usted es una dama muy inteligente. Ya ve que nos da consejos aquí a nosotros. Todos sus consejos, sus rezos y eso nos ayudan aquí a todos, madre. Usted sigue siendo una persona fuerte para todos nosotros. Por eso a nosotros nos gusta escucharla a usted, porque es sabia usted, ma.
No soy sabia, no. Soy una humilde persona. Y pues yo vengo de abajo, de la pobreza, y todavía estoy pobre, porque yo soy una de las familias pobres, los demás familiares pues están bien acomodados, pero eso no me interesa a mí, que sea pobre.
Okay, you guys, también for those of you that didn't know, I'm sorry to give you the bad news, pero Pope Francis died this morning. El Papa Francis se murió hoy en la mañana, allá en Vatican City. Okay, so, disculpen que les estoy dando la mala noticia, pero sí, el Papa Francis se murió hoy en la mañana. Okay, the Pope Francis, he died this
Pidan a
morning.
Dios por él, porque nadie es perfecto, ni los papas, ¿eh?
No, pues nada, solamente Dios era perfecto nomás.
Sí.
Él sí, ¿no? Solamente Cristo fue perfecto, everybody. Nobody else. Everybody
Y la
has their flaws.
Virgen, y la Virgen Santísima murió virgen y virgen está viva en el cielo. Él se la llevó.
Ahí está.
Y San José, porque él no la denunció, él tenía desconfianza y hasta que tuvo un sueño de un ángel y le dijo no, que no la mortificara ni nada. No, él no decía nada. Y él crió a Jesús de Nazareno desde niño, desde que estaba allí, y ella es virgen y será siempre virgen sin pecado original. Y no tuvo más hijos ni nada, ni virgen, pues.
Bueno, everybody, I'm sorry, but I have to go, you guys. I'm really sorry, but I gotta go. Thank you very much. Hasta la bye. Goodbye over here, down here on Instagram. Thank you, Stephanie. Have a great day. Thank you over here on Facebook. Thank you very much, everybody. Muchas gracias. See you later. And thank you over here on YouTube. Bye-bye.